Hello. I thought I'd talk about some of my experiences in waitressing as a dyspraxic. This is not a good match. We struggle with carrying things and we struggle with balance, coordination, and we can be quite slow. So one of my first jobs, but not the first, I'll go on to that in a different video. That was also disastrous. But I loved it. The waitressing, I started in a French restaurant, and I just walked in and asked if they had a job for me, and they just kind of started me that night. But they didn't give me any training of any description. And then my task was to ask people what they wanted to drink. And then I think I had to just go and tell the bar and then carry the drinks back to the table. I don't remember that part. I think I just had to ask them what the drinks were and then give the order to the bar. That must have been it. I don't remember carrying drinks. That could have been a lot worse. And I had to clear the tables when people had finished. So there was a lot of to and fro to the kitchen. And there was this kitchen door was the doors that open either way. You could either walk through and it opens that way, or you could walk out and it would open the other way. So it swung like that. And then because of that, carrying hot food through that door was a safety issue. So you were supposed to shout, "Through!" just as you were about to go through the door, just to make sure nobody was coming the other way at the same time, and then it could be an accident. But I had a lot of trouble using my voice, and I couldn't shout "through," even though it was a health and safety thing. So I took it very seriously, but most of the time I wasn't able to say "through." And if I was able to say it, then it wasn't really loud enough or clear enough or at the right moment. So that was bit of a problem. And then there was a French girl working there, older than me. Like I think I was 15, and this French girl probably in her 20s, getting very fraught, het up when it was getting busy one night, and asked me to go and get some more beer bottles from the back. I think I offered, because she was looking very stressed. "Oh, we haven't got any more of these." And I was like, "Oh, where are they?" And she was like, "Are you sure?" She was like, "Are you sure you can handle this?" kind of thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't mind." That kind of vibe. And then she said, "Go and get some of these beer bottles. We've run out in the bar." And I'd gone through into what was it called? I mean, it was like the store area. And there was also one of those really scary walk-in fridge freezer things. It's really scary because I think you could probably get stuck in there. The door used to shut if you went in. So I avoided that. Luckily, I didn't need to go in there. So I went to find these beers, and then I was really excited because I found the right thing. And then I brought back I took out about 3 bottles and carried them back through and gave them to her. And you should have seen her face. Like, I don't know, have you ever seen a French person get angry? It's like a firework. And she was like kind of swearing in French and stuff, probably. Because the thing is, I just didn't realise that there's no use bringing like 2 or 3 bottles, because that's just literally like one order. I would need to bring sort of like 2 big cratefuls of beer to restock behind the bar, but she didn't say that, and there's nothing working in here. Like I couldn't think of that for myself unless she'd said to me like, "Go and get 2 full crates." Then I would have understood, but I didn't. And then I could never carry more than 2. Carrying 2 things at once is quite difficult for me. And sometimes, they're really hot. If you've done serving, then you're probably a lot better at it than I am. But it's quite scary when you've got something in your hand and then you realise when you're halfway to the customer's table that it's so hot you can't actually hold it, but you have to somehow grin and bear it until you get there. And the worst, and then once somebody, it was getting very busy, and then a customer sort of collared me and said, "Oh, we've been waiting and we need to order our food." And then there wasn't anyone else around, so I basically had to sort of take the food order, which I wasn't really supposed to do. That wasn't in my limited number of tasks that they'd kind of like trusted me with. No blame to them, because then they ordered something, but I didn't realise that they'd ordered the main, but then you were supposed to order like the vegetable dishes and the side dishes and what kind of potatoes do you want with that, or whatever it was. So I gave the order to the kitchen, and it was just a simple order of just probably like steak, 2 people. And then when it got served to the table, then they were the waiters and manager were all shouting at me that like, "You didn't ask them what you want with it. This isn't an order. You haven't like taken a meal order. You've just taken like one item." It's horrible because the customers are let down because of me, and I was kind of like set up to fail because I definitely wanted to do my best. I just can't fill in the gaps if there's kind of like guesswork involved and you're supposed to use your common sense. I didn't have any. I didn't have any experience. And then the second restaurant, I think it was, that I worked in, the menu was numbers. It wasn't dyspraxic friendly. When I took an order, it would be, I still can't quite remember which way around this went, but let's say number 25, chicken fajitas, number 27, vegetable fajitas, number 33, vegetable burrito, number 35, chicken burrito. And however many times I made this mistake, I never learned. I'm sorry, customers. I always used to order accidentally. We were supposed to write the number down on our little ticket to give to the kitchen, and I used to write down the wrong number, and then the customer would be given chicken and they might be a vegetarian. I'm so sorry. But I never learned. I was so sheepish of taking it back to the kitchen and saying like, it wasn't supposed to be chicken, it was supposed to be vegetable, and then get shouted at. And then there was the time when they had a very big hot, sort of like very heavy wooden tray with a sizzling plate on it with the hot food for the fajitas or something. And it is really hard to carry, especially because I'm not good at carrying things. And then, once I just like kind of, when I got to the table, it just kind of went like that, and then the whole thing like slid, and all the rice just slid onto this customer's lap, like all. It was like it's like I kind of like covered her in this whole entire meal of food. And I have, once in a hotel restaurant, I'd sort of tried to move a tray covered in glasses and just dropped the whole thing, and all the glasses were just smashed. And the thing is, as well, I just want to explain like sort of the biology of it, if that's the word, which is like, as a dyspraxic, if I looked that way, then I would go that way. So like if I turned my head and needed to look that way, then I kind of accidentally go that way. And again, this is to do with retained primitive reflexes. So it's not that I'm clumsy, even though that's what happens, but it's like just that my body can't do that in a more efficient way, so it could be a lot of mishaps, and it was. So, yeah, thank you.